Hey there, my name is Brenna, and I'm the founder of ReefVitalize. ReefVitalize is a coral restoration ecotourism startup, and it is pre-seed stage, like very early stage. We're just getting started on our pilot programs. So, to give a little bit of background about my relationship with Neesha, I'll start kind of a little bit before I met her. So I applied for an accelerator in spring of 2022 and was accepted into that program in April. So one of the things that this accelerator did was offer weekly sessions with certain mentors and people in their network who would be beneficial for the startups to learn from and connect with. And Nisha was one of those people. I think it was probably halfway through the accelerator, which was a 12-week program that we got introduced to Nisha. And in the time that she mentored all of us startups for about an hour on a Zoom call, she took some people and she started talking with them and had them talk about their business model and talk about their value prop and all these things. And she would find ways to suggest improvements and put people on the spot, and try and get them to really dig down into uh, communicating their business in the best way possible to people. Because as founders, we all have these ideas in our heads about how our business is going to be and how it's going to look, but communicating them to others is often a big struggle. I struggle with it myself for sure. So after that call, Nisha sent out a survey to all of the startups in the cohort, asking them to set some goals for themselves, give her some feedback, and then she would follow up with that survey and ask people, she'd follow up and make sure that those goals were being achieved. So I think I was actually the only one to fill out that survey and get back with her about how I was doing with the goals that I had set for myself. So in return for that small bit of work that I did, she offered me a free hour of coaching time with her one-on-one for my pitch deck. So that was scheduled for the same week that demo day was for the accelerator, where all of the startups pitched to anyone who wanted to come to the event. And so that was on a Tuesday. My meeting with Neesha was scheduled for a Tuesday, and demo day was on a Friday. But that Monday, I had a different meeting set with another group made up of lots of people in multiple industries who get together and you pitch them to become a mentee in their mentorship group. And if you do well enough in your pitch, they'll accept you as a mentee. But if they don't like your idea or they don't think it's a fit, they won't accept you. So, had that meeting on Monday, and they, they really went after my deck. They found all these holes. They, were confused on lots of parts of it. And it was a pretty intense, harsh reality check for me that what I was communicating wasn't coming across and my vision wasn't clear. And all of these potential mentors are investors, and their advice is very valuable. But I did get the feeling in the call that, all of these negative things were being pointed out and some suggestions were offered, but the general attitude and sense of it was just criticism, really. And there was a lot of valuable advice. And so I tried to have open ears to a lot of it, but overall they got the sense that I wasn't really coachable and they weren't going to accept me as a mentee. Now, the next day, I had scheduled my meeting with Nisha. So we had an hour slated for that call. And at the beginning of the call, she said, I'm going to be harsh with you. And you don't have to take everything I say and apply it. I'm just going to give you what I think. And you're welcome to do whatever with that advice that you wish. And she said, I'm going to offer a lot of suggestions and you may not take them. Um, and she said she wouldn't be offended or hurt if I didn't. She didn't come across as a I know better than you about your own business, and you should listen to me. Um, so, with that mindset, she had me create a copy of my pitch deck so that whatever changes we talked about could be made. But if I wanted to go back to what I had before, I was able to do so. I don't think I've touched that original deck since at all. Um, so, what she had me do was change the way that I was presenting my ideas. And instead of running through them in the way that traditional founders are taught to talk about them, she instead had me focus on the audience. And by focusing on the audience and not the words that I was trying to say, my message became so much clearer. And the entertaining of my audience helped them capture my message based off of the advice that Neesha gave me. She wanted to make my pitch fun. And so after working for the next 3 days tirelessly on the edits she had given me and the edits the first mentoring group gave me, I presented my pitch on that Friday. I had not one, but two people tell me it was the best pitch that they had ever seen. And I was invited to a very high profile client's private island to pitch him the next year at his annual summit. So, to say that Neesha's advice was beneficial for me would be an absolute understatement because now, not only did I receive all of that wonderfully positive feedback, but someone from that first mentoring group was there at demo day, saw all the changes I had made, and vouched for me to come back and pitch that first mentor group again. After pitching them on our second call, there was a bit of silence, and then there was a question actually. And they asked me, "Are you the same person who pitched to us 2 weeks ago?" Because of the absolute transformation that had happened, both with my pitch deck and with my confidence and pitching it and having a conversation with who I was talking to, and not so much just rattling off facts. So, what Neesha gave me was truly priceless at the end of the day. And the only way that it had value to me was when I came to it with open ears. And like I said, she said, not everything you have to keep. There were a lot of things that I kept because I knew that these things had value within my pitch, but maybe there was another way to work around them and get the message across that I wanted to get across, but in a better way. Because as a founder, we often feel like everything is on our shoulders. People will give you a piece of advice or criticism, but they won't really tell you how to fix those holes or those gaps or those mistakes that you're making. Neesha, on the other hand, will. She will show you and she will tell you how to fix them, and she will give you more value than you're probably paying for right now. Oh, excuse me, my AirPods are falling out. But anyways, at the end of the day, I could not be more grateful to Neesha, and I believe that she has so much value and so much knowledge, and she is so unique in the way that she helps founders. And so the best decision you could possibly make for your business is to listen to her and to take her advice, or just have a conversation with her, and something beneficial will come out of it for sure. So thank you, Neesha, so much.